I've got a full set of the BuiltRight Industries bedside rack panels here, including our brand new panel for the 24 F-150 and Raptor. Hey guys, Matt here. As you can see, we're back with our 2024 Raptor project. This time we're working on the bed of the truck. I've got a full set of the BuiltRight Industries bedside rack panels here, including our brand new panel for the 24 F-150 and Raptor. A handful of attachments, some gear, a couple of prototype parts, and some new production parts here. I'm not going to go through it all now. We'll do that as we install it. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is install the driver's side rear panel here. As you can see, we've already got our Rotopax mounted up to the panel, so this thing's ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to do, because this truck has the factory bed liner, is I'm going to use a real sharp knife and cut around the bed liner that's around the tie down here so that I can remove the tie down without peeling off this factory bed liner. So I'm going to do that now. All right, so a couple of things here. Definitely, as you're putting these bolts back in, just a little bit of anti-seize on the threads is going to really help out long term if you're taking these panels on and off. The other thing is that this tie down had scrap bed liner on it. I tidied it up a little bit with a knife because we are going to be reinstalling this on top of the panel. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the factory BoxLink plate. So they don't spray the bed liner over this, but they mask it, or they put these on when it's still wet because it's stuck over here a little bit. I'm going to score it with my knife just like I did the tie down, because what I don't want to do is peel this off and have it peel away the factory bed liner. They don't prep the bedside before the bed liner, so if you peel at it, it will come off. So I'm going to replace this with our upgraded BoxLink plate, so I'm going to set this aside for now. We're not going to need this again. Quickly put a little dab of anti-seize on each one of these. Last thing I'm going to do is put the bumper in here just so that the panel is fully supported down in this bottom corner. All right, so this panel is in. We're going to throw the Rotopax can up here, then we'll put the front panel on. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do on this panel is install a hitch mount. You guys have been asking for this for a while, and we're kind of experimenting with some options. One of the challenges is this one happens to be tight to the panel, and I want to make sure I can still pull this hitch out of it with the panel installed. We're able to capture the top with 2 MOLLE nuts, and on the bottom we're in a slot. So we're going to use our typical 1/4-20 hardware here. All right, so we've got our kind of a prototype or test hitch mount mounted to the panel here. I'm going to mount the panel up, and then we're going to test and see if we can get my hitch into it. All right, so panel's in here. I'm gonna try and put this hitch in there. That works pretty well. I've got a tonneau cover here, the revolver, that's got this big track / lip thing here, so it was a little tight only because of that. So I'm gonna leave this here. Right now, this is just kind of a set screw, but we'd like to have something where you're setting a pin through here. But I want the hitch to sit all the way down in the mount so that it's not rattling around. So that's another kind of thing we'll overcome, but for now, this is great. All right, so this worked out really well. We'll probably hustle something like this or close to this into production. So now we've got this all sorted out. I'm gonna get my ShovelTech shovel mounted something like this using a pair of our QuickFist riser mounts. All right, so this is something that last time you guys saw it, it was a prototype, but this is actually a production piece. These are shipping now, and this is our lock mount. So I'm gonna pull this out. This is a lock mount for the Master Lock Python lock. The lock is gonna sit right in here, nice and snug. So once the lock is snapped in there, this is designed to slip into one of these slots and then come down under tension, and a MOLLE nut will hold it here. And then once the cable's through here, you don't really have access to that hardware. So it's pretty secure. It's a way to keep a great cable lock in your vehicle at all times. I'm gonna use this cable lock to secure my shovel. And I'm also got plenty of slack here. So if I've got something loose in the bed that I wanna secure or lock up, I can just use this. All right, so you can see I've got this seated in the slot here. I've got the bottom of the mount here. So I'm gonna slip this MOLLE nut behind. All right, so it helps to get the MOLLE nut started and then lift it up into the MOLLE feature. And now I'm gonna tighten it down. All right, so you can see I kind of opted to put the lock and lock mount here front and center. I want this to be an easy thing for me to grab and do. I should also note you could mount it upside down on the passenger side, then I'd have better access to the key here. But I'm really happy with this. So I can thread the lock, for example, through the handle of this, and then straight down through here. I've got the key. If I want to tighten it, I can do that, and it can't be pulled out. So obviously, if you're a real criminal, you can find a way to get this shovel. This is going to kind of help honest people stay honest. All right, so with the passenger side wrapped up, the last step is I'm going to throw my recovery strap into one of our large 10x13 pouches and get that set up on the front panel here. All right, so the Bed of our 24 Raptor project is going to continue to evolve as we continue to create products and experiment with this truck and use it differently. But for now, this thing is all set up for perfect daily driver off-road use. I think it looks great. I'm excited to see how that hitch mount holds up. If you have questions, comments, feedback, please leave them in the comments or shoot us an email. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.